So these are part of a full order of Barivian pretzel sticks that I ordered at Robbie's, the bar and grill pretty close to Mom and I. Where we decided to go because they were having a live country band playing there tonight. I was inspired to place an order of these pretzel sticks because earlier on Mom made an order. She gave me about 1.25 of the 4 pretzel sticks because at that point she felt full and that she couldn't finish them. And when Mom dropped me off at Robbie's before heading off to the Willow Inn, she asked if she could have one of my pretzel sticks. And I said, sure. That's why there's 3 when a full order has 4. I got this particular full order toward the end of the band's performance, which included songs like What's Up by 4 Non-Blondes, among others. I declined heading over to the Willow because they weren't having karaoke tonight, and I didn't feel like staying over till 2 in the morning. By the time the country band was done performing, I had drained my phone to about 40%, and I needed to head on home in order to recharge it. And I got up around 1:30 in the afternoon, and it was around that time I had one of the large orders of Wendy's fries that me and Mom got the other day, along with the hot honey chicken sandwich. I had that lunch meal around 3:45 p.m., the Wendy's fries and hot honey sandwich. I caught up on the backlog of my dinner uploads. Right before Mom and I went to Robbie's. I started the U-Cut projects, then played games of Bloons Tower Defense 6 while waiting for those U-Cut projects to render. For one of them, the one on the 9th of February, it marked the first time I used the YouCut's picture-in-picture feature for a purpose other than censoring out sensitive info. In this case, I put that picture of the styrofoam drawing in order to show exactly what styrofoam drawing I found the other day. For my main course at Robbie's, because I was initially thinking of getting the steak dinner, but then I saw they had a Friday only special for a trash fish fry dinner, which is a combination of a fish fry dinner and a garbage plate. And so I went for it, because today happened to be Friday. I believe I drank the last sparkling ice beverage, to my knowledge, when I had that Wendy's leftovers lunch. As for the trash fish fry, of which I asked for ketchup and ultimately got some Heinz ketchup, I put a good amount on, but not too much, since I don't want to drown my food. I managed to finish all of the meat hot sauce, the onions, the mac salad, and the fries, but the fish fry itself was pretty big, so I think I only bothered to eat about a third of it, or maybe 40% or 2/5 of it, and before deciding I didn't want to go on to finish the rest of it. This is the quest I'm currently on in regards to the Sorcerer's side quests, aka the campus chapter. This is where I am on the tech tree. I've noticed that Mom's internet seems to be a little slower than Dad's internet. Maybe it has something to do with being in a more suburban area. Your dad doesn't exactly live in the downtown area, but his apartment unit is closer to it. I met an older man while at Robbie's in spite of the loud music and talking. That made me decide to turn both the microphone and the playback features off. Basically, turn both speaking and listening exercises off Duolingo. When I went to complete the first of the skill review exercises Duolingo had for today, I completed the second of the two very late today. After Mom dropped me off before heading off to the Willow. I believe it's mostly a cheese sauce, but I think I'm detecting some hints of honey mustard, maybe. It's about 95% cheese sauce, though. The pretzels are quite delicious. My third drink, well, it was at Robbie's, consisted of basically one of those aluminum cans of, I believe it's a 1914 original hard cider beer, which didn't really taste like beer at all. Didn't have that typical bitter beer taste. And I tend to avoid, instead having cocktails or otherwise basically fruit juice with some alcohol mixed in. At one point earlier on, I had grape flavored vodka with pineapple juice, and then for the second drink, it basically picked my mom due to it being busy at Robbie's due to the live country band performance. The name of the band is One on One. Their banner is the name of the band, and the text is a flame text. Yeah, we initially intended to only be there for maybe an hour and a half, but We ended up being there for much longer than that. Well, whenever I've been on the computer, it's mostly been to check up on that new Disciple I started on the game Sword Fight. I've been on for more than a week now on Congregate. The new Master 2 slot is at level 655, so the next Master to replace the current first Master, who's the new lowest level Master at level 370, it's gonna have to be at least in the 700s. Maybe the mid 700s. I've been doing research on the scrolls. While I was at Robbie's, I did research on the Wisdom Scroll. In the hopes that I would get back before it hit its max level of 8. That's currently possible with the current school being at the max library level of 4. And thankfully, I did get back before the Wisdom Scroll was maxed out at level 8, getting there 3.5 hours before that happened. And when I got back, I started research on the fighting scrolls, which, when their research is complete, gold fighting skills, thus allowing me to upgrade any fighting skills that are gold for just 1 skill point. I currently have over 200 skill points that I've been keeping in reserve because I want to preserve them for when skills are gold. That way I can maximize their utility. For my current school, I'm currently halfway there on my fame goal of 50,000 before building a new school so that it'll have a co-founder. Believe it or not, as I go on, the rate at which I gain fame actually increases. The day before it was at about 60 an hour. It's currently at 81.54 an hour. And that's from replacing masters with higher level masters. thus raising the base fame, which then gets multiplied by multipliers that steadily increase as I do things like upgrade buildings within the school, research scrolls, get rival stars, and complete rival special training during disciple runs. The new friend I had some brief conversations with at Robbie's, I showed him some of my styrofoam drawings, which all the ones I've taken a picture of are stored on my phone. But I showed him just a small sample as basically my way of breaking the ice. And while I was at Robbie's, I did some research on my phone regarding Wikipedia's timeline of World War II, since I have a potential project in mind which is going to require me to make styrofoam drawings of soldiers from the various major powers and some minor powers that took part in World War II. That's what I'm thinking of. I have the shapes necessary to do at least a little of that idea. I have combat scenes in my mind, but to actually implement this idea, it would require me to create some pretty difficult props, such as making the inside of a submarine, making World War II airplanes, the insides of tanks. It's just an idea that pops in my head every now and then for now. Also, that my second drink, which Mom pretty much picked out for me due to it being busy and noisy at Robbie's, thus creating some difficulty in getting the bartender's attention. Basically got me a cranberry single vodka drink. Although I had considerable success in getting one male bartender's attention by waiting for the right moment, basically whenever they weren't too busy to shout their name, and by that I don't mean literally screeching it, just basically raising my voice to cut through the noise of all the people, and then later on the live country band.